Today I stumbled upon a quote that states, "Let go of the shortcuts and enjoy the journey." Now, that one hit me on a level with finances. Because everyone is selling the get rich quick scheme. And the thing is that all of us possess the power and the gift to tap into our abilities and use them and use the tools and resources that we've gathered along the journey to get rich quick. And that's the thing. Now, I went in and I invested in programs that were great programs, but it didn't flow with the system of my life. Was it a waste? No, because those programs gave you the tools and the gifts, resources. Those are the gifts, the resources to do what you need to do when you're ready. Now comes the time of, when are you ready? And this is for me talking about an entrepreneur who is in the process of relaunching from rebranding, right? I built a life coaching business from fresh out those programs, and the thing is, you got to buy into the next program to get the next level, because there's so much stuff. And on top of that, you have, in the world of entrepreneurship, technology is constantly advancing, which is switching up the game. So, for example, whatever marketing strategy I learned at the start of my first coaching business, which was 3 years ago, looking at the amount of wisdom that I gathered from that point up until this point, that when I had to rebrand, it was time for me to reset and rebrand, because I learned the mistakes. And when I came down to reset and rebrand everything and start from jump, I challenged myself. My goal was that start a life coaching business from 0 to 90 days. Can it be done? Based off of the tools and resources that I gathered within the 3 years of the first business, learning from the mistakes, I have challenged myself to say, can you start from beginning, from the moment that you began your business, that it became an official business in the government's eyes? From that day, 90 days plus, can you start and launch your business and successfully bring in at least one client? At least one. And that's a small target. Because the way that my spirit thinks, my goal is 10. That's the spirit goal, 10. But guess what? That's a great margin. You know why? Because either way, at least if you fall into any category 1 through 10, you still good. Because at least you got through 1. Okay? So, when you're focusing, and this focus is around finances. When you're focusing on your beliefs, you want to tap into what are your beliefs, because sometimes with the shift in the energy, when you shift into the new being, this new person, you're going to have to handle money differently. You said what you wanted to be, right? You got a goal. Can you continue spending? And spending doesn't always have to be financial. It could be spiritual. Are you spending time and energy with people who are worth it? Are you spending your money on things that are worth it? And as you hang around certain individuals, you take on certain energies because you're spending that exchange of energy time. So, how much do you love yourself to say what your time is worth? Now, there's a balance in all things. You go with the flow. And I'm telling you that the things, if you want a balanced life, your wish is your command. The universe is going to give you the balanced life. And it's your job to shift into the vibration or the frequency, or shift into the individual who is balanced in that balanced life. So that means you got to take on those energies. So when it goes back to the finances with my example, I had to shift into the vibration of the person who handles the money properly. It's not reckless. Not any of that. But it took a certain amount of lessons to be learned to then appreciate the journey of learning again the right way. And trust and believe that I do have the resources and the tools to do what I need to do. Because that's how the universe works. It will give you something, the seed planter, some information that you just want to study more on. Why do I need to study more on? No answer. You probably won't get an answer right away. You just know that you have an interest in studying something in particular. And then you share that something in particular with somebody in particular, or indirectly, but directly. Because the right person is going to hear that right message and say, wow, I needed that. That one thing that person said was the game changer for my life. And the same goes to the individual who is regurgitating the message. So what vibration are you on What are your beliefs? And this was going back to what I was saying, that I had inherited some beliefs from when growing up, of people who did or didn't do well. It was a mixture. Sometimes it was just the habits that you picked up along the way. But how do you know you picked up a bad habit or not? And then you can't go back and blame the other individual. No, because you were the one who took on those beliefs, and you, because you believed in what you believed in, you took the action towards that belief. Now, how do you know you're on the right path? Because sometimes you could be misled, and trust and believe you could be misled, because if you have other energies that come into your vortex that have an influence on your mindset, you can't really tune into your own individual voice, your own inner voice. That's why you have to get tapped in and tuned into yourself. Getting to know thyself, understanding the self, knowing the body language, because we have those abilities, those gifts, those psychic gifts that you could intuitively feel the energy. You could feel something. You have that gut feeling. Those are gifts and abilities that we were blessed with as humans. If animals can do it and they have those spidey instincts, those animal instincts, humans have those instincts too. So whether you've forgotten, remembered, etc., or overdid it, or whatever the case is, your body will tell you exactly what it wants to do in certain situations, or when you get around certain people. I don't feel good. I don't feel like going in there right now. I don't know why. And you not going into that one spot actually saved you. You explain it because it was your instinct, that human instinct that said, don't. That inner voice, don't. And that inner voice will be very loud and clear, especially if it comes to risking your life. Because at the end of the day, that movie Avatar was a great analogy, with them saying how expensive it is to build an avatar. Do you know how expensive it is energetically to build the body that you own at this point on planet Earth? That your soul is piloting here on planet Earth? It's expensive. So expensive. So worth everything. It's so worth it that the universe, your Heavenly Father, wants to give you everything that you want. That's how worth it you are. That entity wants to give everything that you want, and then some. So why don't you have everything that you want in your life right now? Well, we'll have to ask the co-creator. Who's the co-creator? You are. It's you and your divine entity who is creating this world. You are the creator, the co-creator. So what do you want to create? What do you want for you? And when you figure out what you want, then you will be intuitively guided on how to get and obtain what you want. And it's so simple. Start doing what you love to do. Why? Because you have to attract, you have to be the vibration of the thing that you want to attract into your life. I might have to repeat that one because that one can go over the head. You really got to dive deep into that one. You have to be the vibration of that which you want to attract. Do you know what you want to attract? Your ego wants to attract any and everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. I look so good. I don't care who looks at me, because I know I look so good. That's the ego. Are you the vibration? Because then I'm going to attract people who say that to themselves too. They're going to shout out, I look good. I'm going to shout out, they look good too. But you're being the vibration of that you want to attract. What do you want to attract? Do you want to attract the healthy version of you? Are you being the healthy version of you right now to attract the healthy version of you? Do you want a loving relationship? Are you attracting or being the aspect of the relationship in which you want to attract? Because when you get on the path of that individual, you will meet the one along the way. You so busy trying to go on the path with the person who could be the one, instead of just do what you desire, what you love, what's going to put you in a love vibration. Do you have a nourishment menu? Do you have a menu where you can say, this week, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to this? And the little Alfred in your head says, yes, madam, right away. And you go ahead and you proceed to doing what's on that nourishment menu. If you don't have one, you need to make one. Then it becomes addicted to how often you go to that nourishment menu, okay? Balance. You have to have a balance. So, going back to the beginning of the topic, when it's talking about what you want and what you want your heart desires to be. Don't worry about chasing anything, because if you're the vibration of the thing that you want to attract, those things will come find you along your journey. And you can take it from there. Because this can also work when you're dating someone. You know, the first date is the first impression, and the first impression will tell you everything that you need to know about the individual. You don't even have to go any further for any more any more dates, any more interviews, any more of anything. That first impression is everything. So you let that first impression be genuine and authentic. Now, most of the time, you'll attract people of some type of energy that is in the shadows of you. And that individual can be a reflection of your shadow. But you won't know that until you get deeper and deeper. Now, the key is listening to the subconscious thoughts. The subconscious thoughts, if you really read the script of the dialogue you'll have between an individual, the statements, the opinions, the words, it will tell you everything that you need to know. Everything. They'll tell you their beliefs, their philosophies, through their jokes. This is what I call reading the subconscious talk. Now, birds of a feather flock together. And if you're not the vibration of the person that's flocking towards you, cut them off. Because that's not your energy. Remember, if you have a goal of vibration to meet, and that thing better be set at love, that number one, level one better be love. Because anything below that, it needs some work, because only the loving is going to survive. Through all of everything, you're going to have that loving understanding on all perspectives to get through the chaos. Because if you don't, you're going to get sucked right into the chaos, and that's lost in the sauce. Stay in your lane. What is your lane? The flow of your life. The way that your life is flowing. When it's time for anything or the events to occur into your life. It's like a timeline. It's a journey. And that's looping it back to what I said. Release the shortcuts and enjoy the journey. Because now, what I can do in 90 days becomes an option to sell to somebody who's trying to build a business in 90 days and hurry up and get up out of wherever they at because they can't take it no more. You get what I'm saying? But the amount of coaching it's going to take, that's 3 years worth of coaching crammed into 3 months of lessons. So you're talking about a month of information in a week. And even then, you could be looking around at where you are and what you have going on and the stresses in your life and say, I'm ready to release. 90 days, let's go. And I completely understand, because I was there once upon a time. But what you have to understand is that it's the journey of your life. You know what you want, you know what your goal is, and you focus on that. You stick to that. The path will be made so easy, so smooth. You may want a erratic transformation cut loose, and sometimes slow and steady wins the race. But do you have the right tools and resources to get you to what you need? Do you have the right mentorship to coach you through what you need? And this is where I can say that I appreciated the programs in which I invested in to get to where I needed to be, so that I could be an inspiration for someone else to get to where they need to be. And that's how the cycle of better change happens. And it happens with, first, let's work on the self. Let's work on the me. So, we're going to go ahead and end it right there. I am so thankful and grateful to have this opportunity to share with you. And I greatly appreciate your time. I went over time a little bit, but I was enjoying this moment. So, with much love and peace, I will see you in the next class.